What's going on, everyone? Hope you're having a great Sunday. So we're in the back seat of the Platinum Pro right now. Nice big comfortable CrewMax back seat to do a little video and get everyone on the same page about the TRD Pro release. Alright, so last Sunday I made a video which was pretty much letting you guys know what we would see the upcoming Thursday with the TRD Pro release. We talked about a little bit bigger of a lift, hopefully some new tires. Basically, it was going to be an upgrade to the TRD Pro package. On Thursday, a lot of people were disappointed and everyone was kind of mad. In fact, I would say from my comments alone, 85% were mad about the TRD Pro, 10% loved it, and 5% were pretty much indecisive. They just couldn't care, really. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that and just give you some notes, and like I said, kind of get everyone on the same page with it. So one of the big things, and the reason that I released the video last Sunday on what was coming, it wasn't to spoil the surprise or anything. I just didn't want anyone to be disappointed, okay? I didn't want anyone's expectations to be so high that it was an automatic disappointment come Thursday at the release. Now what happened was I made this video saying that they were going to upgrade the TRD Pro trim package, and that is a very important part of this talk, so remember that. And some of the comments I got last Sunday were, well, it needs to have push button start, it needs to have the 5.7 liter engine needs to be different, it needs to have a supercharger. Now the problem with that is that was shooting way too high. The TRD Pro package was being updated on all three trucks. So that means the Tundra was coming back for 2019, the 4Runner and Tacoma. It was just going to basically be a revamp of the TRD Pro package. So now I'm going to go down the list of some of the notes I made between Thursday, when I made the video on the Pro, and today. What I basically did was I read all the comments and made some things I want to talk about, good and bad about it. Okay, so the biggest thing to remember in this whole talk is it was a TRD Pro trim package update, not a Tundra update. So if you were asking for things like push button start or a different engine in the truck or a supercharger, that wasn't going to happen because, again, it was the trim package they were updating. Why I made the video last week for sure. One thing that I must say for everybody's anger, I am happy, and we should all be happy, that there is a TRD Pro Tundra available again. 2018 was weird because there just wasn't one available at all. So now at least, no matter how you feel about it, it is good to say there is a TRD Pro Tundra once again. My one thing that I truly didn't like about the TRD Pro release was the tires. I figured the tires could be updated. Not anything crazy. I don't want a mud tire on it off of the, sales floor or whatever. I just want a better all-terrain tire like we always talk about. The BFG KO2 General makes a sweet tire. Like there's definitely some options out there. Nothing against Michelin. It is a great tire. It's actually very good in the rain, in the snow, all that stuff. But for a truck that's a specialized off-road vehicle, you want yourself a little bit better of a tire. But I do love those wheels. Those wheels look good. They're forged, and they're awesome. Another thing I'm happy about, and we've talked about this since the beginning of this channel, I'm glad the TRD Pro now has a moonroof. You spend that kind of money on a sweet truck, you want to at least get a moonroof out of it. One thing to note here, and this is where you got to keep an open mind. When you guys are mad about the update, a lot of you said that it wasn't enough, you were mad they didn't do more with it, things like that. You got to remember that the truck really didn't need an update, and I mean that TRD Pro Tundra. And what I mean by that is it was in extreme high demand, okay? The Tundra, the Tacoma, and the 4Runner were selling like hotcakes. People were ordering them. If there was any allocated to a dealer, they were out the door usually before they got in or in the first couple of days. So it really didn't need a major update. It wasn't like they were having trouble selling the vehicle. So that's one thing you got to keep in mind. Another thing is, for the update, for the people that didn't really like the update, they updated the Bilstein piggyback reservoir shocks and gave you Fox shocks, okay? And one of the main reasons they did that, there was a lot of complaints coming from the owners about the TRD Pro suspension. So Fox shocks are, very well known, very reliable. So they went with that. Again, they were already on the Tacoma, so that's another thing to keep in mind. If you don't know much about the off-roading world, Fox shocks are really where you want to be. They're one of the best for sure. Let's see, another thing. Okay, so when it comes to the TRD Pro itself, the Tundra we're talking about, a lot of people were asking for more of a Raptor fighter, okay? More of a Tundra that would go head-to-head with the Raptor. Now, one of the reasons you might not see that, I'm not saying you'll never see it, it depends how crazy Toyota wants to get with it. One of the reasons you probably won't see that is because Ford F-150 and the Raptor are in a completely different ball game, if you really think about it. Ford's biggest seller is the F-150, so they can afford to make like a very niche truck like a Raptor that's an extreme, king of the mountain off-road truck. Toyota makes the TRD Pro, and it's pretty much the same thing as a regular Tundra with a few things here and there that are different, okay? So you could still buy a TRD Pro for everyday, daily driving and everything like that, while a Raptor, yes, you could use it for daily driving. The people who are going to buy it are going to be the ones that want to take it and really bring it down to the desert and go crazy with it off-road. So Ford can, that sounds funny, Ford can afford to take that leap and make a niche truck like that. Another thing is at TMMTX, which is in San Antonio where they build the Tundra and Tacoma, they're maxed out. They had to add a third shift just to keep up with the demand of the Tacoma and the Tundra. Toyota is not hurting. You got to remember that. A lot of your complaints are the Tundra isn't updated enough, which we will get to in a minute, and I'm with you on some of that stuff. Excuse me. But you got to remember that Toyota is the largest automaker in the world. Some of their focuses may not be where our minds are, okay? They're focused on fuel mileage, hybrid engines, cars of the future, electric motors. They have a pickup truck in the Tacoma and the Tundra that sell a good amount of trucks. It's not bad. They sell over 100,000 units of the Tundra every year. So that is a big piece of the half-ton market. Yes, the Ford F-150 sells over 1 million, I think, every year, and that's awesome. But for Toyota's wants, this may be good enough for now. You got to remember that too. You got to think of it on a more global Toyota scale. Where's their mindset coming? I know some of the things we look at and we say, wow, they haven't updated this in a while. They haven't done this in a while. I don't get it. What's Toyota doing? Toyota has like I said, they got a lot on their plate, and it really depends what their vision is. So let's just be happy they have a half-ton out here at all. You know what I mean? Another thing is the return on investment is the reason we see refreshes over complete redesigns. You got to remember that too. So they put money into the Tundra every year, little by little. They change little things here and there, but we don't see massive remodels. In 2014, we saw a refresh that I guess you could kind of call a redesign. Not really. It was more of a cosmetic redesign, but you got to remember that. It's a return on investment. They put all this money into the truck, and they want to see the return on investment. You see a lot of vehicles do that. They won't do a major redesign for a long time until they see that return. So with the Tundra, they do things like release TRD Pro packages or specialty Tundras. And then in 2018, we got TSS in the truck. We got LED headlights and fog lights. You'll see little upgrades here and there. Once again, 2021 should be the major remodel. But that's all the things you got to keep in mind, all right? I know a lot of us, including me, there are things we want to see on the Tundra. As an owner, I think of it like that too. I say, wow, I wish it had this. Why do these other trucks have this? And I get a little frustrated sometimes. I know you guys get frustrated too. But that's on one side of the coin. On the other side of the coin, doing this YouTube thing, I've learned a lot over the past 2 years about pretty much how auto manufacturers work in general and how Toyota works specifically with the Tundra. And that's kind of the way it is. Unfortunately, some of us aren't going to like that, but that is the way it is. One of the best things I ever did, I'll be honest with you, my 5th Tundra, remember, this truck is the Platinum. Coming up to the Platinum, I feel very content. It has enough features in it to where I'm happy. It has the moonroof. It has your parking sensors, your blind spot monitoring. I updated the LED headlights. So I'm happy in this. I'm content. When I was down in the SR5, there were definitely things I wanted to see more of. But for now, this is what I got, and I'm very happy with it. So I suggest y'all look at your truck and just be happy that you have a nice, reliable vehicle. If you're looking for that remodel, 2021, we should get a full-on remodel. But for now, like I said, this past Thursday, Toyota did a TRD Pro trim package update. It was never supposed to be a Tundra redesign in any way, shape, or form. They brought the Tundra back into the TRD Pro lineup, so let's all be happy about that. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, I'm not going to change your mind, but I look forward to your opinions on all this. So I totally just rambled at you. Those are just notes. I didn't even put them in order. I just made those notes since last Thursday's video, and I was waiting until today to do this video. So this is a little TRD Pro clarity for you for exactly what we saw the other day. So I hope that helps you. I'm sorry if the Tundra is not what you want to be in right now, or not where you want it to be right now, but you know, it is what it is. There's a lot of options out there, so don't be afraid to go out and research. But I'll be honest with you, for me, I'm happy, and I actually like the TRD Pro. I liked the TRD Pro before. I owned a 2016 TRD Pro, and I like the upgrades they did. Minor, yes, but some of it was very needed, especially what you are suction cup to right now, the moonroof. Big fan of it. So let me know, will you be buying a TRD Pro Tundra? What's your thoughts on this? Comment below the video. Twitter and Instagram at TundraDude34, TundraDude34@gmail.com. You guys have a great Sunday. Here's a complaint that I get a lot all the time. People are mad that you can't plug in the phone inside the actual center console and sit the phone here. One thing you could do if you have one of the cigarette lighter chargers is plug it in back here and put it right there. Problem solved.